Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Here we are. Last day of the year. Last couple hours of the last day of the year. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. So, anyway, um, before we jump into anything, I want to just first of all wish everybody a happy new year. Hopefully, this next year will be better than this last. We shall see. We shall see. But it will be interesting, I am sure, nonetheless. So, anyhow, so anyway, guys, I do want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Just be decent to each other. If you can't follow those simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. We're just not. So we're going to ask you to be respectful of everybody. Again, if you have any questions, guys, all cap locks, please, to show, so it'll stand out for me more. And I do appreciate that. So, man, where did this year go? I mean, this year has been insane. Crazy, crazy year. If somebody had told me in the beginning of the year that I would have bought property, Wrangler Star is doing a 100 tool list everybody needs now. Oh, okay. Very cool. That can run into some money when you're talking about 100 tools. That's for sure. Um, but, you know, man, this year is just it's been an interest. But it's like I said, if somebody had told me at the beginning of the year that I would have ended up buying property in another state and planned on making the move and getting out of New York State, I'd have been like, nah. Because I honestly, I'll be honest, I really had planned on continuing to develop this homestead here, keep working on stuff, and I just you know realizing how bad things have been here in New York, that it is definitely time to get out of New York. Yes, I did see that Betty White died. I was actually very sad to hear that. I was hoping she'd make 100. Uh, she had less than 3 weeks to go. But uh, and actually, I'll tell you what, guys. If you look at Betty White in her early days, she was a smoke show. She was hot. I mean, you know, but great comedian. Just, I think she was a genuine person. I really, really do. But yeah, it was very sad. Last of the Golden Girls finally. Yeah, January 17th, she would have been 100. Yep. So, but and when I get that close, I had a lady one time passed away on me at 99, and I was like, man, and she was close too. She was very close to hitting 100. I'm like, that's like such a huge milestone. Not very many people get there. That is for sure. So, but yeah, it just very sad. Like I said, I liked Betty White. I thought she was awesome. So, but an animal welfare advocate too. Well, that's cool. No, like I said, I think she was just yeah, one of the uncorrupt. Exactly. She was very old school. Like I said, I just think she was very genuine, and she had a zeal for life, obviously, to hang around for 99 years on this planet. So, are you taking your solar with you or leaving it on the property or with the property? I'm leaving it with the property because when I go to West Virginia, and I know I've talked about this and you probably had missed it, I'm doing a 48-volt system down in West Virginia. Now, I could take my 24-volt batteries, tie them together, and make a 48-volt battery. That's not an issue. But with selling the property here, that those would go with the property. And so we shall see what happens. Becky will be back home on Sunday, so we're going to have to sit down and have a discussion at that point. Um, as you guys all know, there are some bills in the Assembly for New York State that are going to be voted on January 6th. Uh, it's a Democratic run state, guys. The chances of them not going through. Uh, do you know what cell service is strongest in the West Virginia area? Um, I I have Verizon, guys. All right, and I can tell you this: if I'm down in the meadow or all the way down by the creek bed, my phone was working fine down there. I had no issues with my phone whatsoever. I was also able to use my phone as a hotspot to upload videos as well. West Virginia's supposed to get hammered with rain this weekend. That's cool. Okay, well they need the rain, so there's nothing wrong with that. Funny how plans can change so quickly. Independent Marine said it. Yeah, it just I literally when I came here, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is my last spot. I'm gonna be here, and that's it. You know, and nope, not gonna happen. And that's okay. The spot in West Virginia, guys, and I mentioned this the other night. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, the property here is about a 6 as far as safety, where we're located, and all that type of stuff. The spot in West Virginia on a scale of 1 to 10 is an 11. I mean, it's just an unbelievably perfect spot, and it just needs to be developed, and that's what we're going to do. So, and the weather down there is going to be so much better, than New York anyway. But anyhow, as we roll into this new year, there are a lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns. Like I said, this new legislation that they want to put into New York. Um, like I said, if all those things pass, we're I'm pretty sure we're out of here anyway. To be honest with you, but all those things pass, we're definitely going to be out of here. Enough is enough. And you look at what is going on in New York City right now and the draconian measures. And what amazes me more than anything else, this is supposed to be a freedom loving country. So what amazes me, the number of people that will just go along because they don't want any problems, they don't want to cause any waves, they just, whatever the case may be. And so they just go along to get along. So now the question that I would say to people, when people would say, well, how did the German people go along with what was happening in Nazi Germany? How did they stand for that? Why didn't they do something about it? Now you know. Now you know. Because the majority of people are going to go along to get along. And then eventually, the troublemakers, the people that they see as dissidents or not going along with the program, they're going to do something about that. You know what I mean? So it is definitely something that I think is very, very telling about our society. And will you put out gig cameras to see what animals live out there? Yeah, I probably will, just out of curiosity. I already know this. We have black bear down in that area. We have turkeys. We also have deer. Because I haven't seen the bear, but we've seen the footprints and we've seen the scat from the bear. But I've seen the turkeys, and I've seen the deer, and so I'm sure there's other game out there as well as other predators besides black bear. But once we're out there, the black bear hopefully will make yeah, and it is Bigfoot territory down there as well. That's what people have been saying. So, yep, there's bears. We have black bears in this area here in New York. We have bobcats up here for sure. Several years ago, we were down. Heather and I were heading to town, and we were heading to. We were down in the valley, and I saw a black panther. Now, they will tell you if you ask them, do we have black panthers in this area? They will tell you no. But it was a black panther. That I can tell you, that I know it was. So that was interesting. That was interesting. So, but we already had our special New York dinner and champagne tonight. Tomorrow we make corned beef. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I can't stand corned beef, but good for you. Eat it up. I know it's like it's funny, like corned beef and cabbage, right? Big for Germans, big for the Irish, and I'm both. I have both of those in me. Can't stand it. Never will eat it. Not sauerkraut. No, forget about it. you know. So the only Black Panther I saw in New York when I lived there was someone's pet. Oh wow. Yeah, it. But like I said, we definitely saw it. It was amazing to see. But yeah, Stella on roids. I call her actually. You know what my nickname for Stella is? I call her Panthera, but she's like a little panther. She is, she is funny. She's a funny cat. She is just absolutely full of it. Loves to play. So good thing. Panthers not native to North America. No, they're not. No, they are not. But they are here. They are definitely here. It says lions in West Virginia as well. Oh, okay. It wouldn't surprise me. What I'll tell you, nothing would surprise me anymore. So, so real quick, I'll show you. Hold on a second, guys. There's Mr. Max, and there is Stella or Panthera, whatever way you want to go. But and of course, all the dogs. Hella is right here, and Caesar and Pandora are over there. So, but anyhow, what can we expect for next year? There is no telling. No telling. I do believe you're going to see more and more control measures put into place to control your every action and your every move. And you know what the worst thing is, guys? To be honest with you, what could change it? Let's think about that for a second. What could change all these draconian measures? What could change that? If we, the people, said no. If we said no, that's it. That's all we'd have to do. We stand up and we tell them no, no more. But the majority of people won't. They're not going to. They're going to continue to just be meek and mild and do exactly as they're told. And collaborators in your community, neighbors, police, law enforcement, FBI, only care. Oh, hold on a second. I want to read the rest of that comment. Only care about one thing: their pension. Will send you to a wellness camp, kick in your door, and kill you in your sleep. Well, like I said, that would not surprise me, to be honest with you. And like you said, they're going to go along to get along. That's exactly what they're going to do. But I think that if they try and do those type of things, they're going to have a pretty bad fight on their hands, and it's going to be very, very hard for them to cover that type of thing up. So people watch too much TV and do not do research. You're right. People should absolutely be doing more research on their own, seeing what's going on, seeing what's happening. I'm going to tell you what. You want to look at the situation. We'll talk about a situation. What's your actual gut feeling on the bills getting passed? I think they're going to get passed. It's a Democratic-run state. They got control of that, and I think that they'll pass those bills. I really do. I don't think there's enough people. So what they did here, when they're going to be doing this vote, they're all doing that vote remotely. I think I mentioned that. Hochul put that into place. Okay, Hochul put that into place because they knew that there was going to be a planned protest for the 5th, right, in Albany. Well, since they're all doing it remotely, nobody's going to be in Albany on the 5th. So how come? And this is just like I said, this is a curiosity question for me. How come they put that into place? The timing is kind of funny, right? Number one, but it's okay for the politicians to stay home and work remotely and do what they, voting and all that type of stuff remotely. This is just New York State, okay? I don't know what's happening in in other states, but the rest of us poor slugs have to go out and do our work and do all that type of stuff all the time. How's that work? You know, why do they keep choosing January 6th? I have no idea. I have no idea. But those are when those bills are going to be voted on. So yes, Bill A416, giving the governor the power to imprison people deemed a health threat. Oh, yeah, that one's dead, ADK man. Oh, okay, well, good, because that is definitely too much tyrannical power for one person to have. So I didn't realize that one was dead, but that's actually good to hear because that's a scary situation. Um, you know, Frederick Nolan, no Black Panthers in New York. Uh, well, my own eyes would beg to differ. They may say that they're not here, but we got big cats in this area. I can tell you that right now. Absolutely, very true. So here's the thing I would say, Frederick Nolan. Okay, when you say that, when I tell you I've seen it with my own eyes, why would I lie? What benefit would it be for me to make up a story like that? Anybody that's watched this channel for any length of time knows I don't BS, I don't lie, I say it like it is. So, I mean, that's just a curiosity question. New Year's Day here in Australia, in Melbourne, is in a heat wave. So, I wanted to talk about, painters. Okay, sorry, man. I didn't mean to jump on you. I was like, why would he say that? Why would he say this? Oh, okay, my apologies. I apologize. I read that wrong. So, um, that's too funny. But anyway, I want to talk about Australia. Look at what they're doing in Australia. Now, Australia is a country of 25 million people. 25 million people, right? They've had a grand total of a little over 1,000 deaths. 1,000 deaths. What have we had here in the United States? 800,000, right? So they say. The accepted number that is being put out there. Let me just clear that up. Um, what they've done to their people down in Australia is sickening. Sickening. You know, you got people telling on each other. If you're not following, you got the police accepting, arresting people because they're not following what they're told to do. Craziness, absolute craziness. But yeah, it's a crazy situation what is happening down there. And if anybody's been paying attention to any of that, uh, Australia is what I would now call a prison colony once again, because the whole country is a prison. That, and like I said, that's just my take on it. A46 is still pending. Jason M. Schmidt said. Okay, well, like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think you would have a hard time doing what they're doing in Australia and in the United States for one simple reason to be, and I'm just being, like I said, I'm always honest to a fault. I think they would have a very difficult time doing that here in the United States for one simple reason, and is, yes, right there. Pet Prep Radio Show said we still have firearms. Exactly right. We will fight back, and there's the difference. Um, Australia got hamstrung many years ago, unfortunately, and if you don't have a way to protect yourself from whoever, you know, so Philip Helm said we have over 90% vaccinated, and the Prime Minister has stopped the lockdowns. They have stopped them now, Philip. Okay, but how did they get to that point where they got that many people? You know, what measures did they use to get that? I heard the stories, and I don't know. A416 is not that the Dems said they weren't going to push it for vote. I don't believe anything the Dems say. Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to see what passes and what doesn't pass after the 6th of January, and I'm a firearms instructor in West Virginia and have never seen the demand for people wanting classes this high. You know what, Ghost Prepper One, the amount of people that are purchasing firearms is at record levels, absolute record levels. So yeah, it's crazy. People are scared. They have a reason to be scared. When you have a government agencies in certain cities that are, defunding the police, thinking that, oh yeah, ammo prices are still ridiculous. Yeah, and don't expect that to go any lower anytime soon. Our shop sells out faster than we can get them in. I believe it. No, I absolutely believe that. Absolutely. So, but yeah, you have a lot of people that are very concerned, and again, they should be with everything that's going on. Something that I've said to you guys many times, and I'm going to say it again right now. when, not if, when SHTF happens, and I do believe that's coming, that day's coming. When that happens, you are going to have what you have. That's it. That's it. No more running to the store. No more last minute runouts to get this, that, or the other thing. It's going to be a really dangerous place very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. I would encourage you from day one, if you realize, if you're, you see, like if you wake up and, the power's out and the power's out for everybody and your phone's not working and all those type of signs that would be something that would indicate that things are bad. Okay. Have you heard about the power or wildfire in Colorado and the power outages in California due to snow? I heard about the wildfires. I knew that California's getting hammered with snow up in the mountains, so that doesn't surprise me. I think they were getting like 7 feet of snow. So yeah, Sharon said we bought some of the solar things from Bass Pro and are now charging them. That's cool. That's good. That's guys. I tell you, like I said again, when the time comes, whatever you have in your house, in your storage buildings, whatever you have, that's what you're going to have. So the more diverse with things that you can get and do and to be prepared for is just the smarter thing, just the smarter thing to do. Um, Again, I will always encourage you to get together with groups, to hook in with groups and do that. What do we? Oh, we're at 671 in the chat, guys. We're at 208 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I really do appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. Pushes us up higher in the rankings. And also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up is the third reason. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So if you can group up with people, like-minded people, I highly, highly encourage you to do that. Put your tribe, put your family, your group together. There is safety in numbers. That is a fact. You are not an easy target. Because somebody said, and here they just had mentioned, well, they'll come, they'll kick your doors in, and they'll kill you in your sleep. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, if you have a compound and you have a decent bug out location of where you're at, they're not going to do that. They're going to be a lot more cautious because it's not going to be in their best interest to go in there and get people shot. And if they try to do something like that, that's exactly what's going to happen. You are attacking people that are minding their own business. That's not going to end well. That's not going to end well at all. So being prepared. There's so many levels, so many layers of preparation. Unbelievable amount of layers of preparation. And like I said, I'm always going to encourage you to be as proactive as you can. Help yourselves because I'm telling you right now, when the time comes, we're all of us, we're going to be like, oh crap. Even the most prepared of us are going to be like, oh crap. Um, Drones are a concern. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be a concern. Uh, you know, I would highly, highly, highly recommend if you can do it where you're at. I don't know what everybody's location is. Obviously, some locations you're not going to be able to do it. The higher elevation that you are, the higher elevation that you are, if you can get underground and get something underground built, start it out as a root cellar and then expand. You know, the more supplies. So they're talking like let's talk about all the extreme weather. Okay, let's use that as an example for that. With all the extreme weather that we've had, if you can have something underground that you can go under and have supplies underground, number one, it's going to be it's going to be at a constant temperature of 58 degrees. So perfect for storing food, whatever you want to have down there. All right. It's a safety location. So if you're having extreme weather on the surface, it's not going to affect what's happening underground, especially if you're underground a decent ways. I think that, you know, I think that is probably one of the smartest things that you can possibly do. Now, you still have to have structures above ground. Obviously, you're going to have, growing rooms and stuff like that. and all those type of things. Um, oh, Ed, if you pick up and move, don't forget those caches. You know what's funny about that, lady kickboxer? I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, darn, I got to dig everything up. I was just thinking about that. Just thinking about that the other day. But again, if there's inclement weather, guys, and they're talking, there's a lot of talk about we're in a 12,000 year cycle. I'm sure some of you have heard about that. And they're saying that we're going to experience some crazy pole shift, the crazy weather and the winds and, high winds and all that type of stuff. Again, if you can put something underground, if you can actually even get grow beds and grow lights and have that underground, that's not a bad idea either, to be honest with you. There's a lot that you can do. So somebody, great place to buy LED light, grow lights, Happy Leaf LED. They are cheap and great. There you go. Pet Prep Radio Show just said that. But yeah, grow lights. Then you can cycle them on, cycle them off. There's a lot. There was over in the Middle East someplace, and I can't remember. I watched the show of it, but there was a guy was digging down to make his cellar bigger, and he came upon an underground encampment that was underground from like thousands of years ago, and it was big enough under there to house 10,000 people, where it had stables, water supplies, all those type of things. So somebody way back in the day put a lot of effort and a lot of work into something like that without modern equipment, obviously, as well. It wasn't in Turkey. I think it might have been in Turkey, Randy Romines. Yes, I believe so. But I want you to think about that in that time period, that they had something that extensive that it could have 10,000 people underground, and then it was completely forgotten about, got walled up, and then nobody forgot, they forgot about it over the course of time, and then somebody just happens to stumble onto it. So China's been buying all the food due to the grand solar minimum for the last 2 years. And you know what? And I honestly believe, guys, that we are in a grand solar minimum. The weather's obviously been changing, and that happens. I want you to think about something, okay? And this is something, the big talk, of course, is always global warming, right? Oh my God, global warming, and we have this effect and blah, blah, blah. So they want to tax us, they want to limit us, they want to control us of what we can and cannot do. But here's my thing. Let's look at Antarctica. Now, Antarctica has been melting, right? A lot of melting happening in Antarctica. And what are they finding? What are they finding under all that ice? Structures, buildings. There was a civilization down in Antarctica at one point. So, at one point in our past, Antarctica was a green, lush area where people lived and they had homes, and so all that type of stuff. Okay, they're finding stuff coming out of the ice now. It's been under 2 miles of ice for how long, right? So fascinating stuff. But now, was it because of cow farts and stuff like that made it get colder? It is amazing to me what they will do, what they're willing to do to, what they're willing to do to manipulate us. They're going to feed us any line of crap that we're willing to eat, to be honest with you. Now, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not trying to say that this is absolutely a fact and this is how it is. I'm not saying that. I just find it fascinating that you have an area that at one point in time people lived there, there was civilization there, and now in our lifetimes, in the last however long, it's been under ice and snow for a long period of time, right? So how does that work? How does that work? You want to talk about realistically one of the issues that we have going on, and this is just my take on it. I mean, I'm not a scientist, I don't have all them big fancy degrees and all that type of stuff. But what I find fascinating, we have a record number of volcanoes going off right now, more than in recent history. All right. You look at what happened, like Mount St. Helens back in 1980, for those of you that are old enough to remember that. Uh, when Mount St. Helens went, that July, they had snow in Maine. All right, think about that. Because of the amount of stuff that was put up into the upper atmosphere, it affected our weather. So cow farts aren't the ones that I would be worried about. It would be some of these volcanoes that, if one of these big boys goes off, we're going to be in big trouble, and it's going to make a big, big difference. So, but yeah, it's just something. These are things that we need to pay attention to. These are things that we need to be looking at, because there's so many unknowns. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm just going to give you my opinion. Uh, you know, we had ash in Cincinnati from Mount St. Helens. Yeah, there you go. Red Silo Homestead just said that. So that that there you are. So think about the distance that was. That's a long distance for that to go, and then for them to have ash there. So volcanoes erupting will cool the planet. Yes, they will. Independent Marine 33522. Absolutely. So that's what's going to cool the planet, in my opinion. I believe with everything that's going on and all these volcanoes going off, I think we're in that cycle. Right now, it's going to be happening. You're going to see the weather change. You're going to see extreme weather events, and of course, they're you got to remember they changed everything. I want you to remember this, okay? Remember, it was global warming, right? Global warming, global warming, global warming. And then when that wasn't coming to fruition as fast as they had hoped it would, then it became climate change. Now it's climate change. Oh my God, we got to do something. We got to, everything has to be green and blah, 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 blah. Always look at two things. If they want to get you with a carbon tax, who does that benefit? Does that benefit you? No, never will, never has been. And who's making the money on the green energy stuff at the end of the day? That's what you want to think about. That's what you want to think about. Follow the money, guys, every time, for anything that you have questions about. Anything that you have questions about. If you're just like, you know what, this doesn't seem right, or this, and like I said, I will always, 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 always encourage you to do your research, do your homework, look behind the scenes. You follow the money, it's going to give you a good indication of who is benefiting from whatever the crisis that is happening. And that's what you got to think about. Record profits, when you have somebody like Bill Gates, and all of a sudden his net worth goes from here and now it's up here. Isn't that interesting? I find that interesting. It's amazing how that works. It's also amazing how, when you have Bill Gates is so locked into a lot of these newspapers, and he's supporting a lot of these newspapers, all of a sudden, what do you don't hear anymore? You don't hear anything about the negative stuff about Bill Gates, because these newspapers are bought and paid for. Isn't that amazing how that works? Listen, when you have money, you can do whatever you want. These billionaires, they do whatever they want. And for the most part, they get away with whatever they want. If somebody's, talking crap, they're going to either shut them up or have them shut up, or they're going to, buy the company, and then they get fired, and that ends the investigation. It's amazing how that works. But these things happen all the time. Um, Lady Kickboxer says, "Yep, they control whatever they want, everything." Well, even let's talk about the weather. They were doing experiments, and I want you to, and I'm not going to get into HARP and do they have things that they can control the weather. You're going to have your own opinion on that. I do have mine, okay? But this is what I want you to think about. Back in the 40s, 1940s, 80 years ago, right? They were doing cloud seeding then. Now, are you going to tell me that they haven't figured out, between the last 80 years, they haven't perfected things? You don't think? You know what I mean? You probably don't hear too much about it, obviously, but they definitely have worked, and they have gotten better. That's what they do. That's what they do. Now, do I believe that there's weather warfare going on? Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me at all. So I don't I don't take anything for granted. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, obviously. And I think this is what I think, guys. Okay, if you're coming off with a different viewpoint on something that they don't want you to put out there, and we all know what I'm talking about when I say that, right? And they're going to shut down that viewpoint, kick people off of YouTube if they put out a certain narrative, or if they question a certain narrative, or they give their opinion on a certain narrative. You've seen it, people getting strikes, channels being shut down. You know, they're going to shut it down. They don't want a certain opinion being put out there. So to me, that is always an indication, you know, might be onto something there, right? Because if you didn't care, and if you had the truth on your side, why would you care what a small fringe group of people were saying about anything? Or was it possibly because people were starting to look at that viewpoint and saying, you know what, that makes sense. Isn't that interesting? Interesting how that works, you know? Conspiracy equals wait 6 months and it will be fact. Well, yeah, I hear you. It's amazing to me. Why would they shut down something so hard? If there wasn't some glimmer of truth in there. Because, like I said, if they had the truth on their side, they wouldn't care. But again, people like me, I question everything. I look at everything and I say, if this, if it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. If things don't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Just like I won't even get into. Well, I can, I can, I can go to facts to a point. You have an airplane hit the Pentagon, right? Have an airplane hit the Pentagon, and it just so happens to hit the spot where all the records where they had stored them for the investigation in the missing $2.1 trillion that they had come on and talked about. What, on the Friday? They'd come on, I think it was on the Friday. They talked about there's $2.1 trillion missing. We are going to do an investigation and we're going to find it. Remember all that? Remember that, right? And all of a sudden, a plane, bam, hits the Pentagon right where all those records were stored. Building 7, Building 7, that was not hit by anything but was on fire, was also storing records. And that building was pulled. They made the decision to pull that building because, oh my God, it's so dangerous. I got to pull the building. And I want you to think about this. Did you ever, after that date, hear anything about the missing 2.1 trillion? I sure didn't. That just went away. Oops, gone. Let's focus on this. Here's the boogeyman. The boogeyman is hiding in Iraq, and the boogeyman is hiding in Afghanistan. So we have to go after him, right? That's what you heard about. So just interesting little tidbits of facts. Now, I'm not saying what hit the Pentagon because I'm not going to give that opinion, because I'm not going to be accused of any kind of conspiracy, anything, because all I'm giving you guys is information that is factual, okay? Not speculation, but factual. So I found that very, very interesting, and it was never discussed again. Never discussed again. So always, and I'm going to always encourage you this: question everything. Question everything. Do your research. Find out what's going on, and it gives you a better look. Okay, better look of what is really going on. Because I'll tell you what, that $2.1 trillion did not just disappear like a fart in the wind. Okay, that went into somebody's pocket. That went into somebody's pocket. So, like I said, I have my theories on things, but I'm not going to get into that because, like I said, I don't want any problems. How about all the gold that disappeared from the vaults of the World Trade Center? Yeah, that was an interesting thing too. Yeah, that was interesting too, Tony Black Moon. Yeah, like I said, always question things. Always question things, and that's what I would encourage anybody to do. So, if I cut the tongue out of my enemy, what do I prove? Yeah, you don't want him spreading what he has to say. You know what I mean? But Like I said, I'm going to encourage you to question everything, do your own research, even things I tell you guys. What I just told you about where those records were stored, do your research. I encourage you to do your research, and you will see if Prepper Nurse 1 is full of crap or not. Because, like I said, why would I lie? What am I going to gain? What am I trying to gain? I'm not trying to gain anything. I just look at things, I study them, I find out all the information that I possibly can, and then I make what I like to call an informed decision, not what I'm fed by the local media. So, hey, Sarge 27271, Happy New Year to you as well. Like I said, guys, I know it's like the time is blasting by here. I hope everybody, again, I hope all you guys have a wonderful new year. I hope things get better. I don't believe that they will. I really don't. I think we all need to be proactive in thinking about our families and the people that we care about. And if you have a group, the people that are in your group, you know, as they continue this, Ed, has your daughter been indoctrinated since college? No, no, Heather thinks for herself. Heather thinks for herself. Do you see the woman accusing Trudeau of treason? I had not seen that, but I think that that's interesting. We noticed grocery stores storm today due to bad weather coming. That doesn't surprise me. That's always what they do. That's what they always do, because people, for the most part, they're unprepared. And if you use a weather event and see what happens when the weather event happens. Everybody goes and buys bread and milk and whatever they want. They go nuts in the stores. Everybody's panicked, like deer in a headlight panicked. What you got to remember when SHTF happens, do that on a scale of 10 times worse. Because like I said, and I've said this before, folks, the most dangerous person, the most dangerous person in an SHTF event, it's not your Navy SEALs or anybody that's highly trained. They're not the most dangerous person, not at all, not even by a long shot. The most dangerous person in a SHTF event is someone who is desperate and scared. That combination is a dangerous combination because they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. And if they're desperate and scared, they're going to do whatever they have to do to get whatever they have to get. And you got to remember that. So people that you think, oh, they're decent people, they're going to be good people, I don't have to worry about them, they may be the ones you got to worry about first. So something to think about. You know what I mean? Just something to think about. But crazy world, crazy world we live in. A lot of crazy stuff going on. But again, like I said, I believe if every advantage that you can give yourself to survive whatever it is that you're doing, that's the way to go. Give yourself that advantage. Give yourself that advantage, because I'll tell you, when the time comes, you're going to be grateful that you did. You're going to be grateful that you thought ahead, that you listened to people like me, other YouTubers that have been encouraging you guys. Um, at desperate and scared and has kids. Well, yeah, especially when they have kids, because that's why usually they're desperate and scared, because they're trying to feed those kids, because those kids are looking to them how are you going to feed me? I never wanted to be in that position. Never wanted to be. That's what got me into prepping. I always wanted to be ready to be able to take care of my kids. And even though my kids are grown now, I still feel the same way. I'm going to take care of my kids. So, but like I said, we just need to keep being diligent, staying focused. Don't worry about don't worry about the distractions that are going on and all those things. Don't pay attention to them, because it doesn't. At the end of the day, until something happens, as long as it's not directly affecting you, stay focused on what's important. Getting ready, being prepared, doing what you need to do. That's the priority, and it should be the priority. So before we do the egg count here, folks, we got 768 in the chat. We're at 394 on the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask again if you would shoot a thumbs up, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate it. And also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's just a little game I like to play. So the more thumbs up we get, this just makes it more fun. We had what, 750, 759, I think, in the last stream. So, but and we got probably what, 150 of those were right in the last 10 minutes because we were just, So again, guys, if you would, I would appreciate it and thank you very much. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So what do we got here for the egg count? All right. So I will tell you this now. 3 days ago, 4 days ago we had 6 eggs. The next day we had two. Yesterday, you guys don't know, we had 6 eggs yesterday, right? If you had the same guess as Ghost Prepper on here, and actually Ghost Prepper is the only one that I've seen with the right answer, we had one one egg today. I don't know why. It was a sunny day. We had some decent sunshine here today, but we ended up with only one egg today. So I'm like, well, I guess they gave us the good day yesterday, and you know, but it's weird. I mean, because we hadn't had 6 eggs in a while, and I had 6 eggs, then two, then six yesterday, and then today they give me one. So I'm hoping tomorrow's a better day. But yeah, saving them for the new year, exactly. So yeah, go ahead and get rid of that one. There you go. All right. So Ronnie C, just a comment for Ronnie C here. If you don't like it here, my friend, you are more than welcome to get off of here, go bother somebody else. That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. I love it that we can have a great discussion, that we can enjoy each other's company, and that is yeah, they were lazy today. They're so yeah, he's gone. Okay, JJ, thanks. But yeah, it just you know, I don't know why anybody, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand the mindset of people that do these type of things. If you hate somebody and you don't like what they're doing, why would you watch? It makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. Um, you know, Go watch somebody you like, somebody you agree with. So yes, exactly. I agree. I agree. I like that one. But yeah, it just they want to come in here. They want to try to cause trouble. And I always say, I always do. I not every beginning of every stream. I always say, be nice to each other. No racism. No nastiness. If you do that, you're going to be kicked out of here. It's very simple. But I guess we're dealing with very simple-minded people that think that they can come in here and act like that. So very sad. It's just why can't, and I think this is important, guys. I really do. Why can't we have more people lifting each other up, supporting each other, helping each other, encouraging each other? Yes, you can do it. Whatever you're trying to, like I said, whatever you're trying to do, I support everybody. I think that we should be looking in that direction. I think that that is so important. But people want to be negative. They want to be nasty. They just, I just, how sad their life has to be, realistically. Yeah, misery loves company. Yeah, and they can't stand it. Honestly, I think that it really truly gives them physical pain when they see somebody who is happy. I really do. And those are generally the ones that have every single excuse in the world of why they do nothing, of why they don't prep, why they don't get ready. You know, they got every excuse in the world. And usually it's funny to me. A lot of that is based on fear. They're so afraid that they do nothing, if that makes any kind of sense at all. And because they see you or this person or that person doing something about it, being proactive, that yeah, burn notice, we had one egg today. We already did the egg count. We had one egg today. um, so instead of, like I said, doing something positive to help themselves, that they would rather just complain or make excuses. I don't like excuses. I don't. It's there's always bumps in the road, and that's what I call them. Anything that happens in your life, positive or negative, I look at it as a bump in the road. And I'll go back to something again. I always like to try to use myself as an example. The day before we moved out here to the homestead, I found out I had cancer. The month after we moved out here, I had to go and have surgery. And I described it at the time as a bump in the road. And people were like, "Oh my God, what are you seriously? Are you going to change your plans and blah blah blah?" And I was like, "No, I'm not changing my plans. This is something that happened. This is something that I have to deal with. So you deal with it and you move on." Now, did it change how I was going to do stuff? Absolutely, it did. Changed it big time. You know. What are you doing?
I lost my slipper.
Oh, she was coming over and then like she stopped. That's actually very very funny.
Just stuck all the dogs.
Well, yeah, you think the dog landmines.
Yes.
And there's Miss Heather coming in to say hello.
Hello. Whoops. I know I disturbed her
An
now.
excuse is just an easy way out. Find a reason and make it work. Exactly. I agree 100%. Agree 100%. So, but again, like I said, guys, you just if you stay focused, stay on task, you're putting yourself in a better situation. The majority of people are doing nothing, and when the time comes, that's a lot of victims. That's a lot of victims out there.
Would you like the baby?
Oh, apparently she's
not.
doing her own thing. She's just so. She goes, "I was sleeping, by the way."
Well, we had to do the Stella site.
Yes.
Otherwise, people would be like, "Where's the cat?"
Well, I already showed her sleeping in her box. So, Heather, my daughter Hannah is 22 and loves to see you in the live chats. Oh, that's cool.
That's very nice.
That's from the real deal. Well, that's very nice. Well, there she is.
I am here. Hello. The star herself.
That's right. That's right. So, ah, RV source. Is he his question? I'll let you answer that, Heather.
um, I mean, really, no, I'm not excited. I would rather stay here until we could, really think everything out. I don't want to immediately be rushing to do anything. I think we should really be planning everything out.
Oh, everything's going to be planned out. Everything will be planned out.
But no, I don't want to leave New York. I'll be honest. I would rather stay up here. But if I have to go down to West Virginia, I will. But it's not something that I really,
What we've talked about, what I said to Heather was if we go down to West Virginia, I obviously do want her to go back to school for whatever she wants to go to school for. And so, if we do end up selling the homestead here, the beautiful thing about it is we're going to be able to take the money that I'm going to have here to be able to put into the property in West Virginia, which is going to make it a lot quicker for us to have, a decent home down there, and with getting everything else set up and those type of things. So we're going to see what happens. There's other discussions that have to happen first, so I'm not jumping the gun. What I'm going to tell you right now, guys, when we get to that point and I say, yeah, we're selling this, you guys are going to know. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll tell you what's happening. And, like I said, I think that once Heather gets down there and sees what it can be like down there, I think she'll love it. I really do. That's just my opinion. I know she's nervous.
No, the issue is that I want to kind of go do my own thing. I don't want to be living with family anymore.
Well, and I understand that too, but there's a lot more to just that than that.
I understand.
Right. So, well, like I said, we'll see what happens. I could always build Heather her own little place down there so she can have her own home and she can have her privacy. Right? It's big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but we're not going to jump the gun right now. But do you feel overwhelmed about all the work? Not really. It's funny. We've done what we've done here over a course of 7 years. And, we came out here and we first got started, we didn't have a whole lot to work with. And, it took time. 44 colleges in West Virginia, Jane Delaney just said, Heather. So, but, there is the situation down there. It's just better overall. Overall, like I said, taxes, weather, you know, politics, gun laws, everything. There's just so many more pluses than there are minuses,
For
and
you.
for me, yes, right. So, but we'll see what happens. Heather is a black belt in axe throwing. Yes, she's got that down. We're gonna get her axes down, or I'll get a big board and she'll just like practice throwing axes all the time. So when the enemy comes, she can just like, wah.
Right.
So, but yeah. So yeah, New York is extremely hard to live in. It is. And I've been back in New York. I came back here, what, 27, 28, and I've been here ever since. And I've wanted to get out of here for a long time. So new adventures for me. It's like I'm a lot like my mom. My mom always said we have to have gypsy blood in us from somewhere because we'll go. We're just like let's go do it. And that's pretty cool. I like that aspect of it, and it's like to me, I look at it as a new adventure, a new chapter. I have wanted to get out of New York for a long, long time, and to be further south, but still have four seasons, still have my mountains. I like my high elevation. I like my hills and all that type of stuff, and that's definitely West Virginia for sure. But you know, New York pizza kept me there, not anymore. Yeah, the pizza up here is way better. Yeah, definitely way better. But like I said, it don't mean we won't make trips back up here to visit with people that we care about and that stay here. But I like I said, there's nothing that would hold me back. So nothing's going to hold me back. The information that I'm getting about the wood stoves in New York, guys, they are not outlawing wood stoves as of October. That is not the case. That's the information that I saw. What they're trying to do is make sure that anybody getting new wood stoves is what's that? Okay, honey. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. Um, the information that I'm getting is that they're making you buy more efficient wood stoves. So, you know, the cool thing is if Heather decides to go to school down in West Virginia, let's say, she's already got 2 years of college under her belt. So she could transfer all those credits and from a very good school here in New York and go anywhere she wants to go. She's smart enough. So she can, but she can do anything she wants. Hey, Johnny boy, welcome. Thank you for joining and thank you for joining us in the chat. But, you know, it's just, you're not going to get rid of wood stoves in New York. There's logistically, there's just no way to do it. They don't have enough power sources to guarantee that the power stays on, especially in the wintertime. There's no way. Especially the number of power outages that we have in New York. You know how many people would freeze to death with no way to heat their home if the power went out? That's craziness. Craziness, So, yeah, Heather's nervous about West Virginia, folks. She's nervous about. She'll be okay. She'll be okay. So, but no, yeah, I'm in. I'm all in 100%. Let's go. Let's go. So this next year is going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to encourage you guys to follow our journey, see what we're going to do. I'm going to show you firsthand, like a lot of guys. When I started out here, when I came up to the property here, I had 1,250 subscribers when we got here. I'm almost at 100,000. We're at 97,800 and change right now. Okay. So to be able to share that from the very rawness of the property and what we're doing down there and kind of step by step showing you, number one, because I've been doing this for 7 years, I know what prioritizing is going to be about. What's going to have to be the priority. And the priority, and I've talked about this, is you know the Power is going to be first, and then water. Those are the two priorities right off the bat. Once we get those things set up, everything else will fall into place. So what do we got? We have 713 in the chat, guys. We're at 505 on the thumbs up. Let's get that up there. We did 759 yesterday, so we got about 20 more minutes to go. So let's see if we can beat that number just for the fun of it. I know it's a high bar that we're setting, but again, we still got a lot of people in here, and I know people come in and out. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Again, I do appreciate that. It really does make a difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction, like with comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, it makes a big, big difference with YouTube. And, it pushes us higher up in the rankings. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's the third reason. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you for all of those reasons. All right, so let's do some shout outs real quick here, guys. We have Northern Prepper 1 is in the house. Let's go give him some support. He's a pretty new channel. He's trying to grow his channel. So let's go over there and give him some support. Also, we have 80K Man is in the house as well. He's up in the Adirondacks. So definitely let's give him some support as well. We have Ikikan, my buddy up in Canada. I would ask you to please support him as well. Super, super nice guy. And thank you, for supporting him as well. Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. I think that he's a fantastic guy as well, very squared away and showing some good information. So thank you for supporting him too. We have Mary Greeley, a lot of information about Yellowstone quite often and sharing that information. So let's give her some support. Angry Prepper down in New York City. Love Jason. I think Jason is awesome. And you have Alaskan Prepper. He's getting hammered with snow up there, trying to figure out where he's going to put all his snow. So follow his journey as well, because it's a lot of good information. You have Pinball Preparedness. You also have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper 1, Joe at St. Bernard Acres. You also have Bjorn Hansen. He's got a really good channel, a lot of good information with him as well. You have Bush Radical and his wife, Girl in the Woods, two different channels, but a lot of good information. Doug and Stacy, another great channel. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast with Adam and Dax. The Needy Homestead. You also have Survival Lily. You have Corporal's Corner is another really cool channel. Trying to think, Gray Man Prepping. You have Magic Prepper out in North Dakota. So there's a lot of really good channels out there. There's a lot of great information being shared. And there's the Nomadic Movement, the Green Dream Project. You have, oh my God, I'm going blank on Full Spectrum Survival is another one. I'm thinking of the kid, and I've told you guys about him up in Minnesota. Him and his girlfriend, and I'm like going blank because somebody's going to tell me what it is in here in a minute. You guys know who I'm talking about. Kyle's Cabin. Thank you. Thanks, Jen. The light bulb goes off. So, but yeah, Kyle's Cabin's a good channel as well. They live off grid, young couple, really nice people. Deep South Homestead is another great channel. There's so much good information out there to be able to share. Canadian Prepper is another one. Yes, he's got a really good channel as well. And so there's a lot of great information out there. And Bizariza Jizza, yep, another good channel. He's doing his Carrington Chronicles, and definitely let's support him as well. So we should be supporting each other, lifting each other up. I know that there are sometimes people get in arguments and fights on these channels, which is just the silliest thing to me, because to me, we're a small niche group of people, off-gridders and homesteaders. We're a small group. So, I think, did I say, I don't know if I said Alaskan Granny. Alaska Granny as well, guys. I forgot to mention her. So, but yeah, it's a good group of people, and there's no reason for somebody to be fighting over petty little nonsensical stuff. So It doesn't make any sense to me. Wrangle Star, yes, I did not mention Wrangle Star. I like him as well. So yeah, Betty White died. Very sad. Sad to hear that today. I was so rooting. I was rooting for her to get. She had to go June 17th. She had 17 more days, and nope, didn't make it. That'd have been cool. Like I said, I think 100's it's a good thing to shoot for. But realistically, if you think about it, how many people make it to 90? She was 99 years old. Yep. How many people make it that far? I mean, my dad, when my father passed away, he was 85. To me, that's a good run. You get 85 years, that's a good run. And I will tell you, in his case, it was a great run because up until, oh yes, Bushcraft Bear, I forgot about him, in La Palma, in the Canary Islands. Love that guy. I think he's awesome. Um, she passed away in her sleep. That's the best way to go. Best way to go. But like I said, I like Betty White. I really did. But like I said, my dad, up until 3 months of his death, he lived in his own apartment, still drove a car, and still had a part-time job that he did. So think about that. Think, I said no. I meant January 17th. That's what she had to get to. Sorry, if I said June, I apologize. So she had 17 days to, but it happens. What are you going to do? Now I had a great grandmother. She was 92 or 93 when she died. Again, that's a good run. That is a good run, and that's what a way to go though. If she passed in her sleep, never knew it. So awesome. So what are we at? 593 in the chat. We're at 551 on the thumbs up. So we're at what? 190. Well, a little more than that. 208 to go. If we can hit that 759, I don't know if we're going to hit that. So the prepper picnic is going now. That may okay. So if I move out of New York State, the location of that may change. Just so you know. We'll have to see. Like I said, we're going to have to see what happens. But as of right now, we were planning mid-July, and I have the dates down. I'll share. I got to find out what's going on here first. So once I know more of what we're doing, I will let you know. You know. Yeah, she said she lived so long because she never ate anything green. I like that. It was funny. That was funny. Yeah, July 17th and 18th. So the 16th, 17th, and 18th, because the 16th was the Friday. So my great grandmother died at 117. She was a Cherokee. That's very cool, man. That is a fantastic run. That is a fantastic run. But that was the one thing too. I got to say, my dad was still in his right mind, which is a huge thing as well. I mean, if you live to be 95 and you spend the last 10 years of your life crapping in a diaper, having no idea who or where you are, that's not living. That's not living. So quality of life is huge. It's huge. So all right. So anyway, so yeah, we're at 564 now. So we're under 200 away from our goal. 759 if we can get it just for fun. That's what we got in the last stream. So let's see if we can get there or get close to it anyway. So again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up, please do so. Again, this next year, guys, there is going to be a lot to pay attention to. But at the same time, while you pay attention to those things, continue to prep, continue to get ready, continue to be diligent, focus. What you have to think about is what is the immediate impact on me and my family if the lights go out tomorrow. And it's the best analogy that I can have because it's so could be the way that things go down. If the lights go out tomorrow, how ready are you? What do you have? How long can you last? And the reality is, and somebody put this in a comment, you should have at least a year's worth of food. And I agree with that statement because what you're looking to do, regardless of what time of the year it is, you're looking to get through that first winter comfortably and be ready to plant the following spring. Be ready to harvest wild edibles and do those type of things. So, those are really, really important things. And so I think that is, I think that is something that we definitely have to watch for. So the more prepared you can be, the better off you're going to be. No one is ready, not completely anyway. Nobody ever will be prepared, family. I'm going to tell you what, no matter how much you think you're ready, there's always something else that you can do to get ready. So I think, you know, hard to believe January 1st in Virginia, it will be 68 here and 71 at camp. Yeah, I saw that down like in West Virginia, it's going to be like 70 degrees tomorrow. And I'm like, man, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So, but, just like I said, we just got to stay focused, stay on track, and we're gonna reach whatever goals that we're trying to reach. But just be steady. Remember this: food is never going to be cheaper than it is right now. Remember that it's never going to be cheaper than it is right now. Uh, you know, I bought my components for the solar system in West Virginia. I bought them already, and some people had asked me, "Why did you get it already?" For several reasons. Number one, it may be a lot more expensive come next year. That's one reason. The second reason was because I wanted to make sure I had the stuff and had it here on site, because if things went down, and let's say things go blow up in the next month and I can't go to West Virginia and I have to stay here, well, that their extra solar is going to help, so that's something to think about as well. So it's just a matter of trying to be as ready as you can for whatever's going to happen and just kind of go from there, so in the meantime, we continue to plan like nothing is going to go completely bananas, which we hope it doesn't, um, and have our plans and see if they come together. And that's what we're planning on doing. It's pouring rain right now in West Virginia. That's good. That's good. Fill up the reservoirs. Is the water table on the property pretty good? Can you hand tap a pump up there? I don't know yet, JJ, to be honest with you. I don't notice. I have no idea yet. I really got to figure things out once I get down there. And like I said, come March, I will be down there. So we'll have to see what happens. But it'll be interesting to see what's going to go on either way. But time will tell. Time will tell. So all right, well, let's do this right now, guys. Let's do We Are Legion. And again, we're at what, 593. So we're what, 150 something in that range away from where let's just see if we can get close to that 750. I don't know if we're going to get there or not. We're running out of time, but the closest we can get to it, it's fine. So let's actually just shoot for 700 because we're almost at 6. So let's see if we can even hit 700. If we get 700, I'm happy. So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and thank you. I do appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So thank you for that reason as well. All right, where is everybody from tonight? We have John from Beech Grove, Indiana, Melbourne, Australia. Phillips, Happy New Year, brother. I know you already got it New Year's Day over there. Pueblo, Colorado, Louisville, Kentucky, Southern Mississippi, Northern Florida, Inverness, Florida. We have Mount Lyons, New York, Waterloo, New York. Let's see, Alberta, Canada, Dayton, Texas. Let's see, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Texas, Union City, Pennsylvania, Thomastown, Georgia, Navajo Nation in Arizona. Burn Notice, welcome. Glad you're here. Newfoundland, Oklahoma. We have West Central Ohio, Virginia, Allen, Sioux City, Iowa. Very nice. Greenville County, Arizona. Campbell, Missouri, Northeast Texas, Northern New York, Hamilton, Ohio. Sweden is in the house. Glad to see you here. Spain is in the house as well. Very nice. Welcome. East Coast of North Carolina, St. Augustine, Texas, Huntington, West Virginia, Valparaiso in Indiana. I probably said it wrong. I apologize. Fort Riley in Kansas, Southern Maine, Denver, Colorado. Welcome to West Virginia, my home for 71 years. Very cool. Northeastern Pennsylvania, Southwest Ontario, Canada, Ulster Park, New York, Randolph County, West Virginia. Cape Cod is in the house. South Carolina, Bushnell, Florida, Michigan, Vegas. We have Raleigh, North Carolina. Very nice. Live down there, right in Chapel Hill. Jackson, Florida, South Carolina. New York Preppers in the house. Very nice. Lake East, Ohio, Montana, So again, guys, we're all over the place. We are a huge network of people. We are the ones that can make a difference now, and we're the ones that can truly make a difference after an SHTF event. We really can. And so I think we should try. I know I've said that a lot of times, but I think that that was one of the reasons that we were awoken uh, to make a difference. And I think it's important that we try to do that and, try to help as many people as we can. You can't save them all. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. So, we just do the best that we possibly can, and we just go from there. So what do we got? 616 in the thumbs up. We're at 540 in the chat. Can we even get close to 700? Come on, guys. It's New Year's. Let's see what we can do here. Let's try to get that up to 700 before we jump off. So thank you for doing that if you would. I do appreciate that. Again, like I said, it really does help with the algorithms. The more interaction we have, the better it is, according to YouTube, and putting us higher in the rankings. So today, I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm at 97,800 and change as far as subscribers. Uh, you know, Less than 2,200 away from 10 or 100,000. Let's say 10, 100,000, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to first of all, I got to thank all of you guys for the support. Through this year and through the years that I've been on YouTube, it has been amazing. I have met so many awesome, wonderful people. I can't even begin to tell you. At the prepper events, like going to pinballs, get together, and I met a bunch of awesome people down there. In the get-togethers that I've had, awesome people there as well. So that has been, probably one of the best things about me being on here, is being able to, meet a whole bunch of people. Any predictions? Oh man, I don't like to say, well, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, because when that doesn't happen, then you look like a fool. Like I said, I do believe that we all need to be cautious. We need to pay attention to what's going on, but don't let it distract us from the goal, which is, getting getting your stuff squared away, getting as ready as you possibly can, staying focused on that. That realistically, folks, is the priority, because I don't want you to be victims. I don't want you to be victims. I want you to be able to, you know, continue to live your lives when everybody else is losing their mind, that either you can hunker down or get to your bug out location, wherever that is in the group of people that hopefully you're working with. Uh, you know, that's what I want. That's what my prediction is. That I think you're going to see more people prepping, more people getting active, more people waking up. As things continue to deteriorate, I think that's what you're going to see. And so, that is really important, that we, as the ones that have been doing it, living it, and all those type of stuff, that we set the example and that we try to help when we can help. And I think that that's an important thing to do. I really do. I have a lot of people reach out and ask me for advice and stuff like that. I have no problem with that at all. So, a lot of people are moving. Yes, Francine is just talking about that. You're seeing a mass exodus out of cities, out of certain states. California and New York are losing people like crazy. There is a reason for that. People need to understand there's a reason for that. So, pay attention to those things. Um, so, what are we at? 643? Guys, I don't know. There's no way we're hitting 700. Be lucky to hit 650 the way we're going. Um, so, anyway, guys, we are all in this together. We are really, truly one race called the human race. And I get people will come on my channel and I leave the comment up. No, we're not one race. We're this, we're that, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. That's fine. You know what they say about opinions? They're like a-holes. Everybody has one. Okay. And that's fine. I believe that we're all one race, because I can tell you, I guarantee you one thing. Guarantee you one thing. You cut any one of us, whatever your background is, whatever your religion, whatever your political affiliation, if you've had the shot or not had the shot, wherever you're coming from, when you cut us, you're going to bleed red. That I guarantee you. That I can absolutely say is a guarantee. You're going to bleed red, and that's the truth. So but so if you want to think that we're not all in one race, the human race, that you can think whatever you want. I choose to be an optimistic person, not a pessimistic person. So that's my take on that. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. You know, there's no guarantee of what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that you tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Last thing is STD, which when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will have tattooed on myself. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to do, whatever you were trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. You know, just stay focused, guys. Keep getting ready. That's the biggest thing that I'm going to encourage you to do. I really am. So, you know, I don't know how much time we have. I can't begin to tell you how much time we have. I hope we get another whole year. I'll be honest with you. That's my hope, because if I have another whole year, I'm going to be set up pretty good in West Virginia. And you know, I'm trying to get that squared away in this year. Will coming up. Actually, what do we got? 2 hours and 41 minutes, and it's New Year's. So then I can say this coming March instead of next year. So that'll be cool. But please, everybody, if you're going out tonight, I would beg you to please be safe, you know, and all those type of things. Again, I do want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They are the best. I'm very fortunate to have them, and thank you guys again. Thank all of you. I do really appreciate all the support. Some of you have been watching me for years, which is like amazing, and I do appreciate it. And I hope I'm the same person. I don't think that I've changed. You know, I try to remember where I came from. I don't think that I'm some kind of big superstar or nothing like that. I'm just me, you know, and I'm just trying to help. And that's what I'm going to always continue to do. And that's what I'm going to continue to push. I'm going to continue to push for all of you to be proactive to help yourselves. Okay. You know, that's what I want. So I am calmer. Okay. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'll tell you what, getting away from where I was to moving down here has made a huge difference in my life. Huge difference in my life. So, anyway, guys, I will see you all next year. So, have a great one. And again, please be safe tonight. No drinking and driving. Just be smart. If you're going to party, have a good time. Just don't drive. All right. All right, guys, I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.